Well, good morning, everyone. Just want to take some time this morning to talk about a few things. And first, I just want to say, how proud I am of our team around the country. What I've seen in stores and DCs and offices. I've been around the country this week. Julia, you and I were out this week in Florida and Tennessee. Got to spend some time in a distribution center a couple mornings ago. And then the operations team, I was talking to Todd Harbaugh last night. He said he was in 7 different states this week. The divisionals are out, and like the feedback is just great that so many people are doing all they can to take care of customers. And I just want to say thank you for that. I know that there's a lot going on right now. And I'm here with Julie Murphy. Julie's the Executive Vice President of Human Resources with what we call the People Team here at Walmart. And let's just take a second, Julie, and before we talk about everything going on this week, I do want to ask about you. I'd love for you to tell everyone your story with the company.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's great to be here. And like you said, it's, this week, it's really been an interesting week as we think in terms of what's going on, and really proud of our team and the leadership team and how they're really responding and taking care of the needs of our associates as well as the customers. But thank you for having me today. I'm glad to be here. I've been with Walmart almost 35 years, started as an hourly trainee. Just up the road. I went to college in Springfield, Missouri at Missouri State University, and got the opportunity to interview with this little company at that point in time called Walmart back in 1985. And my life has, never been the same since. I started as an hourly trainee, and I was sent to Anna, Illinois, so that was my first store. Worked with a phenomenal group of associates. And then worked my way through the operations side of the business. I always like to share that 29 of my 35 years I have spent in the field. So working my way through every format, hometown division, Division 1, Supercenter, and then eventually I had the opportunity to work with the neighborhood market team. But really feel fortunate and proud of what we've been able to do in that time.
Well, you've got a great story. First of all, congratulations on your career. And early this week, you were with me. We met this young lady named Sierra, who was a co-manager in Kingsport, Tennessee, and we got the privilege of promoting her to store manager this week. And her story is exactly like yours. Started as an intern, and she decided while in college that she wanted to be a store manager at Walmart, and she thought she would like to try to do it before she was 30. Yeah. And I think she said she's turning 29 next week and just got promoted. So congratulations to her. But it's so much fun to see people do more than they thought they would. So let's talk about what's going on in the country this week. Now, last week, we made the decision we were going to cancel our customer conference this week, and that's traditionally called the year beginning meeting. Mm-hmm. We bring all of our managers and a select group of associates from all over the country to one location. That was going to be in Dallas, Texas. But given the concerns with coronavirus, we thought it was time that we not have that meeting and keep people home in their communities where they are. And to me, the best part of the meeting is the awards. Every year we get to recognize Store of the Year for divisions, the Store of the Year for the company, and then we also have other awards. And one of the awards is the Helen R. Walton Leadership Award. And that's an award where we recognize stores for giving back to the community.
Communities.
Yeah, that's right. And there's no better time right now than to give back to the community, or as now, to give back to the community. And you and I got to go to a couple stores. So why don't you talk to the group about where we got to go, what the reaction was, but we had a couple great stops this week.
We did, and if you think in terms of the different awards, you're right. There's probably never a more important time to receive that award and to feel honored, right, with what the stores do. But we had the opportunity. We started in Florida. We went to store 7299 in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Got to get the name right. We landed in Fort Pierce, and I was calling it Fort St. Lucie and anyway, so it's Port St. Lucie. Got that right by the end of the day.
That's right. It's a neighborhood market.
It is.
And what a phenomenal team. They won the award. They've done so many different things for their community, and you can see the interaction with the associates and with the customers. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And so we got to spend some time with Heather and the team, and got to award them the Helen Walton Award. But really proud of what they've done and how they've stepped up, not only in times like right now, but day to day, week to week, they're there for their customers. And so proud of that team.
Yeah, it was fun just to show up. They had no idea we were coming. And unfortunately, we didn't get them the audience to receive this award at the meeting, but nevertheless, we made the most out of it, and it was a lot of fun. So then the second stop, Kingsport, Tennessee. Yeah. And we talked about Sierra. She's the co-manager who was promoted in that store. But that store was loaded with great associates. It felt like it was a almost like a farm team of talent, because so many people had been promoted out of that store in the
That's
market.
exactly right.
The market manager's done a great
right.
job with talent, but also another great stop.
Yeah, store 742. So, they've been around for a little while and have produced many great leaders. The market manager, John Tunnell, we got to spend time with him, and he has always, if you know John, he's always been focused on talent and developing people. But you can see the footprint. You can see the importance of not only associates, but the customers in the community. They took the money that we gave last year for Rise to each of the stores, the $5,000, and donated that to the Miracle Field, what they call the Miracle Field. So it's a baseball field for special needs customers and people within the community. And so they really, leaned into the community in a time of need. They've done a lot for veterans, as you think in terms of care packages and sending those to the veterans as they're serving. But really proud of the team. And it wasn't just the store leader or the market manager. As we talked to the associates, they were all involved. And if you follow them on social media, on Instagram,
I have new social media friends this week from that stop.
you can see what they do, and they do it every week, every day, and they're getting their customers involved, right? So it's not just them speaking right to the customers, it's the customers talking in terms of what's going on in the store. So it was really a proud moment to be there and to be able to award that team the Helen Walton Award. They've really worked hard for that. And you know what I like about what we did this week? Normally we do it at the customer conference or YVM, but we actually got to award the store in front of the associates.
Yeah,
right?
the whole team got to share.
Yeah, so they got to share and they got to celebrate, which was really great.
It was great. Well, out around the country, of course, sales are accelerating. I've seen photos the last couple of days of big crowds. I've been in stores with big crowds. Been in stores here in Arkansas, like you said, Florida, and then Tennessee. And then just being in the distribution center is at 6094. It's our DC here in town, and you can just tell by what's coming in, what people are buying. And that's really shifted from the beginning of this period. We had some increased sales in over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, then it was really consumables and paper goods, and now it's really shifting to food. Our pickup business is extremely busy right now, so big thank you to the teams who are running that business and keeping things together. I know they're running fast, and they are running. I've been in stores, and they're picking fast, they're moving quickly, and they're doing a great job. So as a store manager, I'd ask, what's it like to run a store at a time like this? And I'm not sure we know, because we were store managers. We had issues. I ran a store when there were hurricanes and tornadoes. Yeah. You probably had the same, but what would you be thinking about if you're a store manager right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I remember back to my time as a store manager, I had an event. And, it's really, as you think in terms of times like this, your community and your associates really depend upon you. And so to be the leader, to be visible, to make sure that you're there with the team and you're making the right decisions, you're actually leveraging your team. I think this is an important time to show the skills, the capabilities of the team that you work with. And so it's a really important time for the store managers to be visible and to make sure that they're understanding the needs, because this changes every day, right? We'll go in, we'll see something is spiking, and we want to make sure that we're taking, the time to get the replenishment right, et cetera. But the store managers have to pivot, and they have to be able to leverage that team to be able to drive and to fulfill the needs of the customers at that time. So
and the managers in the field, most of them started with a company. Majority started as hourly associates.
75%.
Like 75%. Yeah, you did, I did.
Yeah.
So it's not hard for them to know what people are doing and what they're going through. We just got to step back and make sure we take the time to think through the decisions we make and how it affects the people who are there on the front line taking care of customers.
Yeah, I think, the calm, collected demeanor, I think, is very important, right? I think having a plan every day, meeting with your team, I think there's no better time in a situation like this than to communicate. So over-communicating, making sure you've got a plan, you've got people on point, but being very calm, very methodical, and talking to your associates, talking to your customers is important.
It is. And over the weekend, Friday night, we learned we had our first case of COVID-19 in Kentucky, and immediately you and I and others met in what we call the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, and it's an office here that we have on campus, and we look after any event from weather or anything else that happens. And the store did exactly the right thing. They were in communication with the EOC. The situation was handled, I think, as well as it could have been. But over the weekend, it became clear that we needed to do something in terms of our policy to support associates. So, would you talk through the changes that were made in the policy this week?
Yeah, very important. And I think, as you think in terms of the EOC and the support that they provide for the stores, they bring the subject matter experts and they're on point, right, to help the stores. And really proud of our store and what they've done, not only for their associates, but the community, right, as you see that. But we knew as we were walking through and we were working through some of the components that, this is unprecedented, right, as you think in terms of the support needed. And as we started looking at the situation and understanding that specific associate, what their needs were and what the impact could be to them as well as their family, we knew that we needed to step up and we needed to make sure that we took care of the associates. And I think the most important piece is, communicating to the associates to stay home if they're sick, if they're not feeling well. But also then what does that mean? Because, the virus, as you think in terms of running the course, could take several days, maybe even weeks. And we want to make sure that we provided the support. So we really broke it down into a couple of components. One, you're not feeling well, stay home. Mm-hmm. Two is, that maybe somebody that you've come in contact has the virus, and so you want to make sure that you monitor yourself. And so what does that look like from a support for the associates? To three, then, if someone is confirmed with a case, and what do we need to do and how do we support that? So the team rallied around to be able to put together a plan for our associates. And what I'm proud about in this space is it's not just full-time associates or those with benefits, it's for every associate that works at Walmart.
That's right.
And that support is really critical as you think in terms of giving our associates the time to feel better, right, to get back on their feet and to do what we need to do.
Right. So the associates who need support, if whether they've mm-hmm. decided to stay home or if they've been quarantined or if they're tested positive, that's what this policy does. And all the details of the policy are posted online, and I think it's straightforward, easy to understand. And, just appreciate you and the team for moving quickly. This is a large organization. Yeah. You got to work on it quickly over the weekend, and by Tuesday morning had something out that our people could see and know what support they have should this affect them.
Well, it truly was a team effort as you think in terms of bringing all of the parties together that could make the decision. I want to thank you and Doug, Donna, and the leadership team because you were right there with us and you were helping us as we were working through the components. And at the end of the day, our associates and our customers were truly at the forefront and the center of what we were deciding to do. So thank you and the leadership team.
Well, there's a cheer we do at Walmart. And the last sentence is who's number one, the customer. Mm-hmm. And if you start with that, actually, at the beginning of the question, it always leads you to what the best answer can be. And Julie, we also made some other changes this week. We changed some of our travel policies that are temporary, of course, but we've restricted travel for non-business essential trips around the country. The operations team, you will all still be in stores. Right. That's important right now, but we've changed the way some of our home office associates are working to ensure continuity. A lot of the critical business functions happen in teams who are close to each other and sitting together here in one building, and so we've asked many associates to work remote over the next few weeks. I actually think that's going to help service the stores.
That's right.
Because when you're in an office environment, you find yourself sometimes in meetings that are extremely productive, and sometimes you find yourself in meetings that you probably could do without, and that time will be reallocated for the supply chain team and the replenishment teams to be able to service stores. I was upstairs just last night talking to the team who lead our consumable business, and they are working really hard with suppliers, and certainly very appreciative to the support we've seen from our supplier community to try to help get product through the supply chain. It's moving as quick as you can imagine. Yeah. But nevertheless, we'll be changing the way we'll be working. In fact, today we've got a few teams that are working remote to test the system and test what we call the VPN to make sure that we've got connectivity for all the teams that we need to keep product moving. And that's the most important thing we can do right now is keep product flowing to the stores and the fulfillment centers.
Yeah, I think it's important, right? As you think in terms of, the measures that we need to take, right?
Right.
And, seeing and understanding, what that looks like is important. But I think that what we see in this and what I want the stores and the teams to know is this is really to focus around the support for them. It's for us to really lean in, right, in a more detailed and deliberate manner as we think in terms of what we need to do for them. And you're exactly right. So when we think in terms of business critical meetings or interactions, if we can eliminate some of that and really focus on what's important right now, which is our associate and our customer and our communities, then we can really, double down and do what we need to do. And, it's in times like these that you really see us at our best. right? We all rally together. We focus on what we need to. And so this is just an opportunity for us to make sure that we have those plans in place.
That's right. That's right. And our communities need us. Our customers need us.
That's right.
Our associates need us. So we've got a lot of decisions to make, and things are very fluid right now. It changes hour to hour, and some of the decisions I feel like we have to make minute by minute. But the leadership team is here and focused, and we'll be doing everything we can to make sure we're adjusting along the way. So it's a big team. We're in this together, and we've got over 1 million people out all over the country working hard to take care of customers and each other. And over the next few weeks, we'll be able to come together and serve our communities the way we haven't before. So really proud of the team, and I'm really excited for what they're going to be able to do for their communities the next few weeks.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thanks for everyone for their leadership, and I look forward to seeing the teams in the field when we get out next week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.